Marco Pimentel is the CMO of Redbrick. Join us here at Websummit Vancouver. Very grateful for your time. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So I know part of the reason that you're here in Vancouver this week is to talk about performance marketing and the overall landscape, how it's changing and ever evolving. How would you define that landscape today, Marco, for people a bit unfamiliar?
Yeah, AI is obviously changing a lot of industries. It's still fairly new. I think the first thing is that when we think about just technology and investing in it, the time of change has always been, what seems like fast and it kind of slows down. Seems like it's fast and it just keeps going faster. And so I think one of the things that you kind of hear and what's happening is people will use AI 3 months ago and say, I wasn't very good, or it didn't change the outcomes of my marketing campaigns, or the result was not great. Problem is that was 3 months ago, and today, if you start using it, you'll be like, oh, that actually kind of works. That actually works really, really well. I think we've been really in this kind of attention economy for many, many years. Everybody's vying for all their attention, and I think people immediately think AI is going to be great because it can flood all that stuff that we've been working towards. It's like more content, more images, more video, more things that people get to see, and I don't know if that's really kind of the case. For us, and the way that we think about it is AI has a really amazing, powerful digestion of information. The thing is, they need you to then also say, here's what's good information. And so like as a marketer right now, and what I'm seeing the landscape change is that the bigger marketing platforms, the Googles of the world, the Meta, the Facebooks of the world, they have so much data. I think there's like 18 million gigabytes of data every single minute that's produced. And that's, that's globally, right? That's so much data to be able to comprehend. And what they need to see is like, well, what's your marketing objectives? What are your marketing goals? How are you going to do these things? And you need to have a very sophisticated data platform. And I think a lot of people are starting to play catch up there and are realizing that that's a kind of a key driver right now in 2025 and into the next kind of 6 months.
It sounds very exciting, but it also sounds like a very overwhelming time. So how are you and the team at Redbrick separating signal from noise? How do you know the actual trends to latch onto in the general AI automated era?
Yeah, it's a really good question. I was actually at a TED conference here recently in Vancouver, and there's the beautiful aspects of AI and there's the scary parts, and who knows, we're not going to talk about where that ends up all going. But as a business and at Redbrick, what we're trying to think about it is, for example, is we'll have a company, one of our companies is 15 years old. We might have 15 years of technical innovation and software that we've built over those 15 years. But do we add AI into it? Or do we build new with AI on the side? And so those are the type of questions that we're starting to work on. Those are things that we are working on right now. We don't know what those answers are going to be, but I think the general consensus is you need to be working in it, understanding where the value, where does it fall short, and also just investing in it as an organization.
Yeah, companies like Duplex and Shift, you got several others that are part of the Redbrick family. Talk to me about what that relationship looks like for any of our viewers who might be a bit unfamiliar with those actual names, but why they're really important to Redbrick's overall mission right now.
Yeah, so for us, we're a portfolio company, but we're very operational. So we own 7 different portfolio companies, as you mentioned. We own Shift, which is a browser. And so browsers right now, specifically ours, it enables you to look through all your different apps and kind of consolidate that into this kind of like power browser. It also allows you to basically modularly break out the entirety of the browser. It's a really kind of a leap in kind of Chromium development. And so that's like really exciting. That business is growing really, really well. Our other side of our businesses are software tools. And those software tools really help digital entrepreneurs, people that are, need to send emails, need to create videos, need to build landing pages. And so all of them rely on some form of software or technology. And I think, that AI wrap around all of them is definitely important. So.
Marco, what is one software tool that you think more people should know about? And do you have a favorite, I wonder?
That's a good question. Well, I'd say use our software that we have. But you know what? I would say that it's not about one specific piece of software right now. It's about understanding the kind of the connections between AI and your software and what you can get out of it. And so, like tools like Notebook LLM are surprisingly amazing in Google and very, very powerful. And so start to just challenge those pieces of software that you have and add to them. And I'd say that's probably the main thing that I would say on that.
What is one mistake you see a lot of founders make when trying to go about establishing a digital marketing solution?
Yeah, well, I think that the first thing that they don't do is they think they got to sell their solution. All right, they think, oh, I built this, everybody's going to want this. This is like the best thing to use, and it's like, well, you got to take a step back, right? What is this? What are you solving? What's that solution? What's that pain point? And they often think that they have that answer, and they try to sell that answer. They really need to kind of take a step back. Who's this for? Why is this for? What am I positioning for? And then start to spend a little bit of money here and there, and then test things, understand the data, understand why people are using it. Don't like ignore all these different metrics and think that you'll just be able to be better when, you know, you got 10,000 people. Well, no, you know, if you have a problem, 100 people are going to show you have a problem. If you have 1,000 people using it, they're going to show you have a problem. So really understand where the pain points are right in the beginning and spend it, understand it right away. Look at that data as incredibly important. It's probably not going to change too much as you scale, so you have to really hone in on an early stage.
Yeah, that may not change too much, but I wonder to what degree the role of being a CMO in this landscape where brands and products and content are all merging in this new era. How have you seen even your role shift over the course of just the last couple of years?
Yeah, of course. It's, you know, marketing in general used to be a bit more creative, right? You think about the Mad Men era of like creativity and moving people. That's the attention economy has taken that away. There's so much content, there's so much people vying for your attention. And creativity is amazing and it works, but we're also now living in data. Data tells you the picture. And now with AI layered in, you really need to be like data first, creativity almost sometimes second. I know some people are like, no, that's not, it's sometimes the opposite. And you do need the creativity for sure, and that's really, really important. But you have to understand data. And maybe that's not as sexy from the marketing side that you'd want to, but that unfortunately is the path that we're going to. So you can be creative, but you also need to understand the entire data platform and understand what that means and all the stories that it actually tells as well. Because that's where, you know, as a CMO, you really need to understand that.
As a CMO, I wonder, have there ever been any particularly weird or unexpectedly successful marketing campaigns that you've seen actually really pay off in the last few years?
You know, often sometimes the uglier the better, which is super weird. When we're doing like split testing and you're doing things that, you know, I think sometimes we think that everybody wants all the flashy stuff. They want lots of stuff. They want lots of options. And sometimes just like weirdly paring back things. You know, I'm not talking about Paint, Microsoft Paint type of design, but sometimes simple and ugly wins. And that's one thing that I just always kind of have a chuckle that I'm like, you know, just test that ugly idea.
Finally, what is one random skill that secretly makes someone a really good marketer?
Random skill that makes them a really wonderful marketer. Somebody that, well, I say grit, because you need to be trying and failing. Like that's your whole job is to fail and figure out one or two little things that work. And when those one or two little things work, you scale them.
That's awesome. Marco, congratulations on all the success for you and the team at Redbrick, and thanks for joining us here in Vancouver.
Thanks so much.